I'm going to walk a mile with Christine Johnston today. How you doing, Christine? Thanks for making the time for me.
Oh, of course. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing well. Yeah.
Good.
So you are one busy person. You own Remedy Music. You have
Yes.
released like three collections of recordings over the past 2 or 3 years, and you're
Yes.
anticipating one new recording coming out on December the 1st. And I really appreciate you sending me the tracks before the music is released. I
For sure.
appreciate that. And the new collection is going to be called
Yeah.
I See You YXE. But first, Christine, tell me a little
Correct.
bit about Remedy Music. I can tell it's a passion of yours.
Yes. Okay. Well, in the fall of 2021, my partner and I started Remedy Music School, which is a space for artists to develop the skills that they need to create the art of their lives with an anchoring and release it from their life with an anchoring confidence. The goal of us is to help artists understand the value and the potency of them finding that unique fingerprint of a sound that only they can make, and then helping support the process through from the inception of ideas to the creation to the production, the recording, the release, and then the promotion of it, and say, for example, with our label, the touring of it. So we started the music school in the fall of 2021, and then we launched the music label in October of 2022. And they're kind of an extension of each other to in varying ways, which you could probably understand based on what I just said. So the label is a space for us to help artists take their art and turn it into a successful business, and then also build that confidence in the understanding that copying and reproducing what someone else is doing is being done everywhere. But if you want to do something that will stand out, that will maybe provide what a need is needing, like for example, if you find a need and you want to fill it, I feel like making original music is going to meet a need more than just doing what someone else is doing, because that is, you know, we see all the time the mass production in the music industry of you listen to someone and they sound just like someone else. And even on radio, a lot of times you can hear people talking about, oh, this let's talk about this song and how it sounds like the Beatles, or let's talk about this song and how it sounds like, a rendition of da da da. And when you're making original music, I feel like that is where obviously each individual artist needs to be able to find kind of the greatest fulfillment, but also it's what can be remembered because it was something unique, something that was different than what has been done before.
Yeah, so it's really big focus on individual personal expression, artistic
Correct.
expression.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
although it's a commercial operation that you're running,
Yes.
the focus is to be successful. But how would you define success? It's not
Sure.
necessarily a huge commercial success. I'm gathering.
No. No, and like there are certain parts of our lives as artists that if we want to, say for example, get a grant, it needs to be, in a lot of cases, something that can be commercially marketed and grow in that way, especially if you want to go on a tour, or if you're wanting to get a sound recording grant. You have to have it be something that is intended to be marketable and to promote who you are or your, I guess, artistry. But yeah, the goal is mostly on, we are an innovative label. We don't take from the sales of our artists' work in any way. We provide the services needed to accomplish the goals and the dreams and the plans of an artist for their life and for their artistic lifestyle. And then we support it through the events we host throughout the year, the business relationships we build with bars and lounges in our city and outside of our city, because we tour every summer across Western Canada with our artists. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
does that answer the question?
Sure. Oh, yeah. So I was quite interested so I want to just mention Clark Gamelin is your
Mhm.
partner in this project. Is that right?
That's right,
Yeah.
Clark Gamlin. Yeah,
Yeah. So is he your sort of life partner as well?
he's my life partner as well. Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to clarify that
Oh,
because
for sure.
it was Clark who who sent me the track. So I was
Yes.
quite interested to see your definition of art on your website. Authentic
Hmm.
roots truth. Authentic
Hmm.
roots truth. Can you
Yes.
just expand a little bit on that?
Absolutely. So this is an extension, really, of what I've been saying. So everyone understanding that what is authentic is what springs from who you are. So that being like a very, very central point that we make and we focus on is that, you know, find who you are, know who you are, create in that place, come alive inside of that space when you're creating, and that sound and that authenticity of you is captured on record, or it's captured by the audience who is at a show that you perform at, and they remember you because we remember things like that. So authentic is just be who you are, know who you are, keep evolving, keep focusing on that and building that. And then roots, meaning where what we do comes from is the roots of our life. And we can value even the trauma and even the struggle we've been through. We can value what it created in us and the potential it has to grow us. And really, that's what anchors us in life is what is our history? What is the story of our life? And how did it make the things it made in our life that brought us to a place where we started to create art? And then truth, meaning, you know, allow those two parts of you to be what people feel like when you sit and you tell someone, when they ask you, what is your greatest fear? And you just respond and tell them the truth. You know, there's something about it. It strikes you, it hits you, and you remember it. So that truth is, let's tell our truth. Let's let our lives and the stories of our lives and who we are, like, just drip off of us as artists, and then let it be in our music.
Mm, mm. You know, so maybe we can move towards talking about your upcoming release.
Sure.
You know, is it fair to say that these songs are sort of honoring people that you've met?
100%. They
Yeah,
are telling the stories of people who have lived or are living in our city and call our city home.
yeah, yeah.
Each
So
song is a custom song written for an individual or a couple
yeah,
who, yeah, falls
yeah,
in that.
yeah. I was particularly taken by the song "For Love." Clark sent me five.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me James Harvey, Peace Lily, The Reason,
Mm-hmm.
Thank You, and For Love. And you know,
Awesome.
I thought, you know, there's stuff to talk about in all of them,
Oh,
obviously,
for sure.
but
Thank you.
I was quite taken by your tribute to Marguerite Wiggins,
Yes.
and how you in the description that was sent along with them, you
Yes.
mentioned how she would weep when she was reading to you as a
As
when you
students. Yes,
yeah. Talk about that a
she
little
would.
bit. Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of beautiful because when we met together, one of the first things that I asked everyone when I interviewed them was like, what was the greatest impacting thing on you as a young youth and still today? Where would you say like the part of life that always seems to hit you the most? And she talked a lot about some of her favorite stories are about martyrs or people who have lived a life of sacrificing themselves for something they believe in. And she, so to us, it was often things like that that would break her while she'd be reading. And she'd like look at us and be like, I'm so sorry. And she'd just have this moment where she'd just surrender to how what she read and the truth of that impacted her. And then there'd be other times where something beautiful maybe that she read, or maybe something that one of us said to her in a thank you card, and she'd, you know, say something to us and then fall apart while she was telling us. And I know from myself and everyone that were my friends and in her class that we all loved her so much.
Mm,
And there's
mm.
something about that that we were missing in our lives that she was able to provide us, that like I, of all the people that I could have written a song about from my past, she's the only one I chose from the past.
I see. I see. All of the others are currently in your life.
That's right. And
Yeah.
she's still in my life. Like, but I, when I met with her, I hadn't talked with her since high school.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
Hmm.
Was she surprised to hear from you? That,
I
that
think like we've kind of kept in touch online. Thankfully, you know, social media allows us to stay in touch, and like we've seen each other, but like an actual conversation, you know. And I don't think she was surprised. I think she was surprised that I wanted to write about her. She's a very humble person,
oh
which
yeah.
I use that word in the song.
Yes. Right. Yeah. One of the things that struck me about your music, having listened to it, and I want to get you to talk about it, but
Sure.
your voice is a very unique voice, I would say,
Oh,
It's
thank you.
it's really warm and it's
Hmm.
breathy, but there's a it's like this bridled passion as well, you know.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Thank you. That is well said.
You know, and I get the sense of authenticity. I get that you're feeling what you're singing about.
Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so good. Thank you for
yeah.
saying that. And like just listening with that mind to know and feel and understand. I
Yeah,
appreciate that very much.
yeah, yeah. And just the passion, I guess. I was thinking about the reason, you know, this is a tribute
Hmm.
to Jennifer Ballantyne and Jesse Prainer.
Kreiner, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason for living. And then what a cool idea to have the child's voice at the end.
We didn't plan it. His dad was listening to the song and preparing to like jamming and practicing the drums, and they just played the song around. And their son is like, he is a music prodigy, and like he is incredible, and he's only 3.
Wow.
And he was just listening to the song and he started singing along, and they decided to record him one day.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all that is. So that
Oh,
wasn't planned, and he wasn't put on the spot for it. It just organically happened.
right. Wow.
And
Well,
the
that,
crazy part about it, the crazy part is when you listen to it, he's pretty much singing almost in the right key,
I know, I
which
heard. Yeah,
I
it was
will say
close.
I
Yeah.
think he's going to have perfect pitch. But
Yeah,
you can only assess these things to a certain degree.
for
But
sure,
I am
for
a
sure.
music teacher for a living, so it's part of my job to see this in my students. And yeah, he has got a very special gift. Both his
Yeah.
parents are musicians and singers, so
Right, right, yeah. And I just in the lyrics, got to be. You know, you were very passionate in that element in that portion. You know, it was like
sure.
it was so believable. The reason for
Oh,
living. So is the little one the reason for living? Is that
no,
it?
love
No,
is.
love is okay. All right.
Yeah, love is. And the
Um,
expression that Jen and Jesse showed me before Ruben came along, when I was going through being a single mother and just so much transition in my life and wanting to do what was right for my kids and also needing to grow and do what was right for me, they were such a anchoring relationship that I both looked up to, but also got to grow from and like and receive love from. Like they supported me emotionally, and they like listened to me and encouraged me and did music with me. And even at times, I'll be honest, they would randomly support me financially when I was struggling,
wow.
because
Mm,
they're just and like I'll just say that Thank You 1972 is a song about Jesse's parents, and Jesse's father Tony is also featured on the electric guitar, for a reason.
uh,
Yes.
yeah,
So the whole
yeah.
family has made an impact on me.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess they were a model of what
They
you
were. They
call
were a
love.
picture of hope for me, of the kind of love I wanted to find.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about Peace Lily?
Oh yeah. So Peace Akintade is a like incredible human being. She happens to be an artist in our city. She's chosen to do art, but I think art chose her as well. And she believes in the purpose of what it is in her life that she does. Like she doesn't just do it for fun. It's something that she feels compelled to do. I actually filmed a kind of documentary style music video with her, which I'll release near the end of November,
Mm, mm.
where she talks about her focus and her foundation and a lot of things in relation to art. But so the song is written for her, about her and her story, and a lot of it is just the words that she told me when we had our interview. But I chose to write about her because she's been a huge inspiration for my life of, again, authenticity, roots, and truth. Like she really reflects
Mm.
that, and she's mainly a spoken word artist, but she does so much different art. Like she's written theater, she's performed theater, and like just an incredibly talented human being. If anyone ever gets a chance to see her perform live, I would say you'll walk away incredibly impacted. So yeah, I wanted to do a little justice to my love and admiration for her and the impact she's had on my life.
Yeah, great. And it was wonderful to integrate her spoken word piece in the song.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
She
yeah.
actually wrote that after we met. It was like partially inspired by our meeting and
Huh.
how it made her feel and how I
Nice.
felt.
Nice.
And the voicemail portion, she had that idea. She was like, always wanted to do this
Yeah.
on a song. I'm like, we're doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah.
So, now, remedy music. Tell me about the name remedy. I mean,
Sure.
is music a remedy?
Yes.
Is that
Yeah,
is it?
that is what it is. That's the foundation of what we do, is just that, you know, music being what we believe is like a remedy for like so many things. The focus really though is on supporting mental health through music creation and music education, both
I
for our
see.
school and the label.
Yeah.
We aren't therapists, we aren't a support group, but we focus on making sure that people are actively doing and embracing what music can do in their life.
Hmm. So, when you talk about mental health, is that a conversation you have with most of your artists?
Yes, definitely, especially at the start when they consider the label, they want to know what does this mean and why. Like last year when all of our artists signed, every one of them who chose to sign, it was because of that element that they chose to sign. They wanted to be, you know, in a space where it wasn't taboo or awkward for them to say, I'm struggling, I don't feel creative, I'm struggling, you know, and for us all to be able to relate and bind and bond and together and grow together
Yeah.
through our mental health struggles that, you know, are unavoidable in life, right? From
Right.
seasonal depression to anxieties, which there's no human being that doesn't deal with anxiety, because we've all experienced times in our life where we were traumatized, and that's what forms anxiety, you know, one situation at a time. So just really like the goal would be ultimately is we all use music as a remedy, but we also through music heal.
Right. For sure. So I see you X. Sorry, I see you YXE. So
Yes.
all of these people that you are paying tribute to
Yes.
have helped you along in your struggle to
Had some
be
kind of impact
happy.
definitely on me. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the two people who haven't, sort of have indirectly, because they are my partner Clark's grandparents on both sides of his family, and because of their impact on him, you know, it impacts me
Right.
and my family.
Right.
So
Right.
in a way, you know, it is a tribute to that in them as well, even though I didn't actually get to meet them.
Right. Oh, you didn't get to meet them. Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So, what if people come to your release party?
Hmm.
Is that a good way to describe it? Is it a party? Is it going to
Yeah, it's going
be
to be a concert. That's what I'm
a
calling
call?
it.
Yeah.
It'll be a sit down, very intimate setting. The lights will be low. There's an artist who's going to be doing watercolor painting next to me the whole time. So, and her pieces will be for sale that night.
Yeah.
She will also be bringing some of her other work. But yeah, it's just a night to really celebrate all of these people. And a lot of the subjects of these songs will perform live with me at
Oh,
the album release.
nice. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great idea. And so
Yeah.
where is it taking place?
Paved Arts on
It's at the
20th
Paved
Street.
Arts. Okay, at Paved Arts Center. Yeah. So people can get tickets in advance.
They can get tickets in advance through me,
Yep.
and I'd be happy. It'd be fine to give my phone number out if you wanted. That might be the easiest.
Sure.
But they could also just go to Remedy Music label website or Remedy Music School website or my Instagram at my artistry, or my name on Facebook. I think if I was even Googled, they would be able to get in touch with me, because you
Sure.
can directly contact me through
Sure.
my website and
Sure.
then my social media.
Yeah. So now I've heard 5 songs. How many songs will there be on the album?
16.
16. Wow. And
Yeah, it's a double vinyl
yeah.
project. So 7 of them are
Wow.
produced, or 9 of them are produced, and with a little bit of live instrumentation, and the rest are all live instrumentation. So it's kind of,
Live off the
yeah,
floor.
yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's very cool. So if there, so I know that thank you and gratitude and honoring. What is musically? I guess I always like to ask people, if I was going to a record store, where would I look
Mhm.
for your stuff?
Yeah, I think it would be up to the record store, but I would say like folk is definitely something has been applied to me, but I don't think it fully fits. I think singer songwriter would be the only category that I feel like I could exist in because of the diversity with what I do.
Right.
And over the years, it may evolve, but like there's some rock influence, blues influence, soul. There's hip hop in there. There's 2 songs with rap and singing combined, and then there's some folk in there, and then
Hmm.
there's some that I would call singer songwriter, like that song "For Love." I would consider that singer songwriter.
Sure. Sure. And jazz. I think jazz. I think your
Yeah,
vocals are
sure.
I think you've got a very jazz-oriented voice.
Sure.
Wow, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Even blues. There's blues in there. I do a song with my friend Dirk DeBoer, who's in my band,
yeah,
and that's straight blues
yeah,
rock. Yeah.
yeah. So, what time does the concert start at Paved Arts?
7 p.m.
7
The
p.m. Yeah,
doors open, and then I will begin performing at 7:30.
yeah, nice. And you're going to have some other folks joining, which is very cool. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
I think
nice.
almost all of them will be performing live with me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else that you'd like people to know about this project?
Just, that really, as an artist in our city, I wanted to reflect my love for the people of our city. Our city is beautiful, the landscape is beautiful, but without the people, it wouldn't be what it is. We make our city beautiful. It is beautiful, but we make it beautiful. So,
Yeah,
this was my reflection of that as an artist and as a business, just to give a representation of how much I celebrate, honor, and respect and love the people of our city and the people that I work with as a music teacher or as an artist.
yeah. And so you have written all of these songs by yourself?
Yes,
These
I
all
did.
by
Yeah,
you? Yep. And so you're modeling what you teach, I guess, right?
exactly. Thank
Yeah,
you, Joe.
yeah,
I, I wouldn't have said that, but that is a very big part of why I did it. Is I wanted to set the example and pave the way with how I chose to do what I do.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And yeah, so you're putting it out there. You're putting yourself on the line, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, great. Well, you know what? We've probably we've walked a mile.
I love it. Thank you so much. I am grateful that you wanted to have me on here and appreciate
Yeah,
your time.
yeah. Well, thank you, and again, thanks for making those tracks available ahead of time.
For
And
sure.
yeah, I really appreciate that. I'm gonna stop tape now.
Okay.
Okay, great.